Hey, you no good, useless old cow. I want you out of the house right now. Do you hear me? I can't stand being around you for another second. Honestly, just how long are you going to be bumming around in my house for, huh? You think I run some kind of charity or something? I want you gone!
Cameron, what in the world are you talking about all of a sudden? Where is all of this even coming from?
Oh, please. You and I both know very well that this has been a long time coming, and it's high time that I finally put an end to all of this nonsense. Now, you are going to collect your bags, leave this house, and never, ever come back ever again. Got it? I don't ever want to see your face again. I don't ever want to hear your voice again. I don't even want to live in the same state as you. But I guess I can't control that.
Wait a second, you mean that you're really serious about all of this? You really want me to just pack up all my things and just move out of the house? I don't understand though, where is all of this even coming from? I don't know what I did to make you ask this. I mean, is this your way of asking for a divorce? Are things really over for us? I don't understand what's going on here.
You really want to know why this is going on right now, Linda? I'm surprised that you can't just figure out this for yourself at this point. But the reason I want you out of the house, the reason I want a divorce, and to get you out of my life forever, is because you're barren. You can't have any kids, that's why.
Wait, what? What do you mean? I don't understand. Is that really why you want me to go?
That's right. I really didn't think things were going to get this bad. I really never imagined that a girl like you would even be infertile the way you are. But now that I know the truth, now that I know how truly useless you are, there's just no point in keeping you around at all. And that means there's no point in being married either. The only reason I married you in the first place was so that we can have kids. My parents just wouldn't get off my back about finding a girl to have kids with. So this is all their fault too. Just any chance I got, they would always ask if I was going to have kids soon.
But Cameron, you know that we can't help that. Besides, we've only been married a year. And it doesn't mean that either of us are medically infertile. Some couples can be married a long time and just don't ever have kids.
Well, I want kids, and I know the reason why we don't have any is thanks to you. This is really all your fault at the end of the day, and you and I both know that. I know that this is all your fault. And how dare you even imply that it could be either one of us? You're the only one whose fault this could be. Do you have any idea how hard I work for this family? How much I try to provide for us? And yet you really have the gall to sit there and pretend like things are going to be okay, even though we know how useless you are now. Well, I am not going to sit here and put up with you any longer than I have to now. I want you out of the house, and I want you out right now. You're basically trash, and I'm asking you to take yourself out. But if you don't, I will. I promise you that.
Cameron, if you want to ask for a divorce, then just ask me for one. There's no need to take this tone or use this kind of language with me.
I just knew that I should have tried to get married to someone younger than me. But maybe it's not too late. Maybe I'll still be able to find a young woman who wants to marry me. But first that means taking out the trash and getting rid of you. I seriously can't believe that I let you leech off me for a whole year. You've done nothing but spend my money.
And so that's why you think it's okay to force me out of the house and end our marriage? Well, that says a lot more about you than it does me. And you should know that I am not infertile. I am perfectly capable of having children, thank you very much.
Look, Linda, I get why you wouldn't want to admit that you're the problem here, but it's just a fact. There's no point in trying to deny it or run away from it. Anyways, I've already signed my half of the divorce papers, and they're sitting on the kitchen table. So why don't you sign your half, and then send them off to be processed for me?
You mean that on top of everything else, you're going to make me take these papers down to the courthouse to finalize our divorce alone? Well, fine then. Maybe this is a good idea after all. Good riddance, you lousy, pathetic excuse of a man. I hope that I never, ever have the displeasure of having to ever see you again.
Oh man, just what the heck do you think you're doing, huh? Don't tell me that you've been stalking me after all these years. I would have thought that you'd finally gotten over me. But I guess I can't blame you for not. But wow, after 3 years, I would have thought you might have just gotten bored and decided to go and bother someone else.
Cameron, what in the world are you talking about? Did you really think that I'm stalking you? I literally am only attending a wedding, and that's all. But it's not like I knew it was a wedding that you were going to be at, and I certainly wasn't planning on running into you today. But when I got here and realized that you were going to be the groom, I knew this day was going to be all downhill from there.
What are you talking about? I'm the one who should be saying that, if anything. I mean, it's a wedding day, and now I'm having to deal with my crazy stalker ex? Frankly, I'm just a bit scared that you're even here.
Well, I'm telling you that I'm not stalking you, and I didn't even know that this was a wedding that you'd be at. I told you all those years ago that I never wanted anything to do with you, so why do you think I would knowingly come to this if I knew you were going to be here?
Well, because it's clear that you're still into me. What other reason would there be for you to come here? If not, because you're still into me after all this time? Still though, I really just think that it's time for you to move on. I don't want anything to do with you, so swallow your feelings and leave me alone.
You really haven't changed at all in these 3 years, have you? You still just refuse to listen to anyone but yourself. I'll have you know that I moved on a long time ago and am not interested in you in the slightest. I mean, can you really not just tell that by looking at me?
Yeah, no. The only thing I can tell by looking at you is that you're still clearly head over heels in love with me, and that nothing is going to change that for you.
Honestly, just what about me being here actually makes you think that, huh? Don't forget that you were the one who left me for no good reason. Why would I ever want to see you again after that? And don't make up some lie about me still wanting you. That's just creepy.
Well, like you said, the proof is in the pudding, and all I have to do is look at you to see the effect that I had on you. It's obvious that you took us breaking up really hard. You must have been in so much shock, and that's why you've gained all this weight. You look like a whale, Linda.
You know, Cameron, I think you're the one that's still hung up on what happened between us 3 years ago. Can you please just give this bullying a rest already? Besides, I'm not fat, and you have nothing to do with why I look like this.
Oh, it's okay. There's no need to be embarrassed just because you look like you swallowed a couple of car tires. I mean, that poor dress that you're wearing looks like it might just burst off of you. Honestly, even before I realized it was you, I was cracking up at who this cow at this wedding might be.
You really are just horrible. Do you know that? And for the last time, I am not fat, and the way I look has nothing to do with you. Besides, I'm not even fat. Can you really not figure out what might be going on just by looking at me?
Oh, come on. You can't hide what's going on there. There's too much to be able to hide anyways. Just admit it. Admit that the shock of our divorce was too much for you, and so you started stress eating, and that's why you're like this now. Of course, it's not my fault that you did that though.
Look, Cameron, I am trying to tell you that you are dead wrong. Why won't you listen to me?
Well, it's because you're just in denial. But it's okay. I'm glad you're here, because it's just so funny to laugh at how you've become. Why would you even bother to show up at this wedding looking like that? Surely, you must have figured that I'd make fun of you for all of the weight you put on.
Well, it's not weight, it's a baby. I am pregnant with a baby, Cameron.
Wait, what? What are you talking about? That can't be right. How can you be pregnant? That just doesn't make sense at all.
And just why doesn't it make sense for me to be pregnant, huh?
Oh, come on. Did you forget why I wanted to divorce you, Linda? I know that you remember, so don't play dumb with me and act like you don't know.
I'm not pretending like I don't know anything, and I remember you left me because you decided that I couldn't have any kids without any proof of the matter. And then you demanded that I divorce you for that reason. That's why you left me. So if anything, I would say that I have a much clearer memory of what really happened than you do.
I seriously have no idea what you're going on about. But I know that the fact of the matter is that you can't get pregnant. I mean, that's why I divorced you.
Are you even reading my texts? I'm trying to tell you that you decided that with no proof that it was true at all.
I'm really not following you there. What are you trying to say?
Ugh, whatever. It's clear that this conversation is just going to start going in circles anyways. I don't see any point in keeping this up. I'm just going to go and try and enjoy this wedding.
You fat cow! I'll make you the laughingstock of this wedding. I'll tell everyone all about how you snuck in here because you still have feelings for me. I'll make sure that everyone knows you're nothing but a jaded stalker and a fat one at that. Did you really think that I was going to take you back if you came here looking like that? You've got to learn, and I'll tell you that much.
Cameron, for the last time, you are the one who's wrong here. I am telling you that I am pregnant, and I didn't gain weight because you left me. Can you please just stop with all this nonsense already?
It's fine. You could just say that you don't have any other lie to try and sell to me. But if you don't want to get made the laughingstock of this place, then I would leave now. Just turn around and walk out that door if you can even fit through it, you fat ugly cow.
I really don't think that things are going to go your way if you try anything with me, Cameron. In fact, I think if you even try anything to embarrass me, that it is all going to fall back on you.
You really have lost your mind, did you know that? Don't you know that everyone here at the wedding is here to see me? More than half of these people are from my company, in fact. Obviously, they're going to trust me over you and believe that I have to say over some fat, crazy stalker.
I'm telling you that if you try anything, you are going to regret it. Now, don't say that I didn't warn you. I am seriously trying to give you some advice here, and you should really listen to it for your own sake.
Hey, just what the heck is even going on here? I don't get it. What are these people thinking? Why am I being forcefully removed from this wedding? It doesn't make any sense at all.
It probably had to do with you acting the way you were acting around her.
That can't be right, though. I didn't do anything wrong at all. This isn't fair. I didn't do anything wrong.
Well, the wedding venue certainly doesn't seem to agree with you there. But like I said, you haven't really changed, and you still seem incapable of accepting that anyone other than yourself could be right.
And just what is that supposed to mean? I still don't understand what's going on here.
Well, you should know that the father of the baby that I'm carrying right now is, in fact, my new husband's baby. Of course, everyone else here at the wedding realized or managed to guess that. Do you really not see why the whole wedding party might turn against you after what you did to me?
Well, it's all my fault. I didn't think that you were going to scream so loudly. Besides, this still doesn't explain why people are treating you like you're better than me.
It has nothing to do with being better or worse or higher or lower than anyone. The fact of the matter is that you were acting ridiculously in a public space. I mean, you did realize that we were surrounded by people, right? That we're both at a crowded wedding? Did you really not think at all that someone might say something about the way you were acting? That you weren't just publicly embarrassing yourself in front of everyone else? You really should have just learned when to stop, but you just kept pushing and it got you chased out of this wedding for your own coworker.
Well, just how in the world was I supposed to know that your new husband was the CEO for our company? How could a fat, ugly cow like you land a man like that? That math just doesn't add up, and I know that you're trying to pull something on me. I know that you're up to something.
You really have no idea what my life has been like since you left it. I'll have you know that I met my husband completely by chance. You have had nothing to do with my life since we decided to end our relationship, and it's coincidence again that I've come to a wedding that you also happen to be at.
But that's just my point. How dare these people kick me out of this wedding? What's the matter with them? How could you do this to me?
Are you seriously going to try and blame me for what you've done to yourself? I told you all those years ago that I wasn't infertile and that I could still get pregnant. Now, all these years later, you tried to put me down using that same old line about being barren. You thought that everyone else at the wedding would find it as funny as you did. And that's why the groom decided that he finally had enough of you causing a scene at his wedding and ordered you thrown out. Now, please tell me exactly which part of that is my fault and why you think that way.
Oh, just shut up already. You know that it's your fault, and you're just hiding behind other people. And don't you know the trouble that I'm in now? The groom for the wedding is my manager. Don't you realize the horrible things that could happen to me now?
Well, it sounds to me like that's just you accepting responsibility for your actions, but I'm not surprised you're just trying to run from that. You know, there hasn't been a single day where I haven't been happy that you and I broke up.
Oh, just shut up. Shut up, shut up, shut up. You completely embarrassed me in front of everyone in there. Don't you realize that? This is all your fault. You humiliated me in front of my coworkers. And how dare you get remarried before I do? That's not fair. How could you do that to me?
You can't say that I didn't warn you, Cameron. We were texting earlier today and I tried to tell you that I was pregnant. I told you that I wasn't barren or anything like that. If anything, the one who can't have kids is probably you.
And just what is that supposed to mean, huh? How in the world do you figure that I'm the reason we couldn't have kids?
Seriously? You can't put that one together yourself? If we couldn't have kids together, but I'm clearly capable of having kids, then whose fault is it? I'm pregnant, so it clearly is not mine. Are you starting to get what I'm saying now, Cameron?
Wait a second. I think I get it now. You're saying that you're pregnant with my kid.
Are you stupid or something? How on earth could it even possibly be that? We got divorced 3 years ago, and I haven't seen you since then.
But then, what do you mean? What are you trying to imply about me with your pregnancy? I don't understand.
I'm saying that you might want to schedule an appointment with a doctor and have yourself tested for fertility. Because again, it's clear that I wasn't the problem when it came to having kids.
How dare you imply that about me? You can't just say that you think I'm the infertile one just because you had kids.
That's not even the point that I really care about, though. My point is that you left me because you thought that I couldn't have kids. You told me that was the reason why you divorced me, but I am telling you now that that is clearly not the case. So all of this, going all back to the divorce, is all your fault.
Are you trying to tell me that I can't have kids on top of that? Does this mean that I'll never be able to have any? That isn't fair!
I have no idea what's going on inside your body, Cameron. That's why I told you to go and talk to a doctor. I just wanted to let you know that you divorced me for a reason that you made up but was never true. Maybe both our bodies just weren't ready for it when we were together, but then again, we weren't together for very long.
How can you say that we weren't together for that long when we were married for a whole year?
I'm not saying anything is certain for a fact, but I'm saying that the reason you gave me for leaving me didn't turn out to be true. And because it wasn't actually true, I'm only suggesting that you go and see a doctor yourself. But honestly, I am glad that you and I never had any children together because it would have made getting the divorce much more difficult. I'm just so happy that I was able to cut all ties with you and not have anything keeping me in touch with you.
You don't have any idea what you're talking about at all. I can have kids. Don't you dare try and tell me that I can't have any kids of my own.
I guess you must be taking this pretty hard, huh? I mean, the whole reason you left me was because you thought I couldn't have kids. And now you're finding out that you might have been the cause of our childlessness all along. But didn't you tell me 3 years ago that you wished you married someone younger? Why don't you just go and try doing that, and then you can prove to me that you really can have kids. After all, you were so confident that it was all my fault when we broke up, don't you remember?
Well, I did have a girlfriend, and she was younger than me, but her and I broke up.
Aren't you leaving out the part where she's the reason you wanted to leave me? Why else would you demand a divorce so suddenly?
Wait a second. You mean you knew that I was seeing someone else when you and I got divorced?
Of course I knew you were cheating on me. I mean, you are so easy to read, it's not even funny. But I didn't have any problem leaving you, so I agreed to the divorce. I thought it was a good chance to cut you off and run.
So then, you wanted to divorce me. You were happy that we broke up?
Of course I was happy. Why would I want to be with a mean husband who was cheating on me this whole time? Who blamed me as the reason why we didn't have any kids together. Of course I wanted to leave you.
But, I really did think that you couldn't have any kids.
Oh yes, I know exactly why you left me, and we've gone over this a few times now, but now we also see that that isn't true. So again, I recommend that you go and see a doctor about that for your own sake. Or don't listen to me. I really don't care either way. After all, we're not married anymore, and I was hoping to never see you again.
But then, how could you do this? How could you marry someone else and get pregnant by them? How could the baby you have inside you not be my baby?
Okay, is that last one a serious question you had, or are you just still in shock? How could I even possibly be pregnant with your child when we haven't seen each other in 3 years? You do understand how babies are made, right? Anyways, I guess this meeting wasn't a total waste. At least I feel like I got you back somewhat for all that you did.
Got me back? What do you mean by that? Got me back how? Don't tell me that you were always out for vengeance. Don't you know that I loved you? But I had to let you go.
Oh, please, you called me a stalker and kept insulting me. Are you really going to try and play all nice with me now? You are a sad little creep, and I am glad that you and I broke up. Now have a nice life.
Wait, you mean that you're going to stop talking to me? You're going to leave me just like this?
Of course, we're done talking. I've said all I want to say, now I'm going to go back to enjoying the wedding. But I'm sure you'll get what's coming to you. I'm sure you'll be punished for what you did in good time.
Hello, Linda. I hope you've been doing well.
Oh my gosh, what do you want now?
I wonder if you have a little time to talk. Well, I was wondering if we couldn't get back together. I'll raise your child like it was ours. Please, I was fired after what I did at the wedding, and I don't have anyone else I can turn to.
Well, I don't think that you can come to me either, creep.
Oh, come on. I am trying to be nice here. Why do you have to talk to me that way? I just told you that I was fired, didn't I?
And you really think that I care at all about that? I'm glad you got fired, and I'm not going to help you.
Come on, Linda. Don't be like this.
Honestly, why did you even bother to message me with this? This is just a huge waste of time. And if you really thought this was going to work, then you needed more than a doctor. You need a shrink to fix what's wrong with you. In the end, Linda blocked Cameron on every possible medium and platform. Without a job, Cameron had to move out of his apartment and move into one much smaller. Unable to find a new job in his same field, Cameron had no choice but to take the first jobs he could find. Now he works a couple of part-time jobs and barely makes enough to make ends meet. And Linda, well, she just moved on with her life, had her kid, loves her husband, and hasn't thought back about Cameron since the last day they talked to each other.
Are you seriously still upset? You should let it go. Can I go home now?
Huh? Are you still seriously planning on coming home? Why would you just come home?
What the hell is that about? Of course I'm going to be heading home. Getting mad over such a small thing. It was literally a joke. How sensitive are you? Seriously?
Really, you think so? You understand that if you say something that hurts my feelings, I'm probably going to be upset, right?
It was literally just a joke.
Your jokes are literally hurting people's feelings.
I said sorry. Don't be so upset and angry over that. I can go home now, right?
I need you to understand what you've done. Until you really figure out what you've done wrong, you don't have to come home.
Oh my god, you're so annoying sometimes. What is your problem? I just told the truth. Some old hag like you wearing a wedding dress at your age? That alone is a joke to me.
Even so, literally in front of all of my relatives, and this old hag who has 2 kids wants to wear a wedding dress? Then you yelled in front of all of them that I must be crazy and that you want me to be serious for a second. Who's the one that was laughing his head off? You're seriously going way too far.
You actually remember every single line, huh? You're way too sensitive. I don't even remember what I said. I was also pretty drunk, so I actually don't remember most of it. But who cares? I already apologized to you.
I really don't feel any sincerity from your apologies at all.
Think about it though. I just said a little joke about you, and your dad completely loses his shit. And then I was taken straight to me parents' house.
Who would have thunk, huh? We were all celebrating for New Year's, and his own daughter was made fun of right in front of him. I think that's a pretty normal reaction from him. Literally everyone was taken aback by your joke.
You really think that you can even fit in a wedding dress right now?
You told me when we got married that we didn't have much money right now, but once we were able to save up some money, we would at least take some photos as a memory.
I might have said that, yeah? But we don't even have money. Case in point.
It's been 7 long years since we got married. I think that we're actually more poor than we were when we started.
I mean, what can you do? I was let go from the company, so it's not my fault. It's not my fault, so it's not my problem.
You're not going to be able to cash in on the unemployment soon. It doesn't look like you're looking for a new job at all.
Once I'm not able to get unemployment anymore, I'll start looking. Right now, I'm just in the, summer vacation of me life.
That's not funny at all. You don't have to come home anymore.
I'm taking care of the kids, though.
Taking care of the kids. Yeah, right. My mom is the one doing most of the child sitting. You're not doing much of anything at all, are you?
We're living together, so there's a lot of stress. You gotta at least let me blow off some steam how I want. I'm already tired of trying to think about how things will be with you.
Okay, then why don't you just stay at your house then? I personally think I'd be perfectly fine without you ever coming home at all.
What the hell do you mean? I considered the fact that your family doesn't have any men in their family to marry into your family instead of keeping my name. That's how I'm planning on carrying on your family name. You can at least say things a little nicer. You need to treat me with respect.
You know, I was actually thinking about that recently. I don't think I ever asked you to do that for me, did I?
Huh?
Also, my sisters, every time they come home, they're met with your sexually inappropriate jokes. And you getting drunk and trying to touch them. They're all pretty sick of your shenanigans.
I didn't say anything like that. What are they saying I did?
Well, you made some dirty jokes about Joyce's boyfriend. You also made comments about Grace's body. Pretty sure you've done more than enough damage to them.
I had no intention of doing that. I'm just making funny jokes is all. Everyone was literally laughing.
They were laughing out of awkwardness. How could you not understand that? You're seriously socially awkward.
Are you sure you should be talking to me like that? I'm seriously gonna leave.
Okay.
Huh?
Yeah, I would like you to do that.
What did you say?
I was actually going to formally ask you to do that. I'm sorry this is over text, but please don't come back to our house. Ever. I'll send all of your stuff in the mail.
What? You can't do that to me.
What? Why not? I'm pretty sure I can.
If I'm not around, who's gonna carry on the family name? You're gonna regret this.
You realize that our household isn't like some kind of royalty? We're not from some elite bloodline or anything. We don't need some kind of heir. My parents and I are both federal employees. If push come to shove, my kids and I both have my name. They can just carry it on. If we're talking about heirs, we have 2 healthy young boys. That should be more than enough, right?
You were that serious about all this? I was just joking around.
I told you earlier, but I'll tell you again. Your jokes seriously hurt people. Not to mention, there's not any humor in it at all.
Don't be like that. I don't have any intention of getting a divorce from you. I'm on a vacation right now, so I'm able to stay at my parents' house, but I won't be able to stay forever.
Yeah, your brothers live there too. Interesting fact. You didn't tell your parents that you quit your job, did you?
Of course I didn't tell them. Also, going home because I got a divorce, I could never do that. It's almost been a week, but I'm literally at the point of no return. It's annoying pretending to go to work every day. I should be able to go home if I want, right?
You don't have a place in this house anymore. Can I just send the divorce papers to your house? Or should I send them somewhere else? I don't know if you're planning on moving or what.
What? You can't be serious about the divorce. I can't even handle just living apart. Why would I get a divorce?
I've already decided this. Also, do you remember when you got drunk and hit my kids and I? I'm going to talk to a lawyer and see if I'm able to sue you for domestic violence.
Domestic violence? That's only a few times that has happened. I haven't done anything after we started living together.
That's because you're afraid of my dad, who's a black belt in judo. Whatever. The point is, I've had enough of this. I'll be sure to get child support for the 2 kids.
Wait, hang on. This is all moving too quickly. My head isn't keeping up with all this.
I need you to calm down and hear me out. We're getting a divorce, so get the hell out of my house.
No, I don't understand. I was just joking around and you're going to divorce me. That's way too mean. And now you're talking about suing me too. You're blowing this all out of proportion.
Your verbal violence is also apparently considered domestic violence nowadays. Seems like it's difficult for you to bring it up on your own, so I contacted your mom a second ago.
Huh? What are you talking about? What?
You don't get it? I told her I'm divorcing you and that you were fired from your job. I let her know about everything. You couldn't tell her yourself, right? I told her for you. You should be thanking me.
Are you being serious right now? Do you understand the status I have? I'm 35 years old and I have no job. My older brother, who's a year older than me, already works at a company as an executive, and I have no status at home. How do you call yourself me wife? You should think about me before doing things. That's why you're able to say things like trying on a wedding dress when you look like that. It's all really bad jokes and in bad taste.
I see. That's okay. You don't ever have to look at me again. Literally, never.
Look at you already getting angry again? I'm just joking. You're just joking about me mum too, right? You didn't actually tell her.
I'm not joking at all. I already have the divorce papers ready. I'm going to have my dad take them to you soon.
Yeah, hang on a sec. Did me mum say anything?
She was apologizing to me. She said that she was sorry for my son, who was unreliable, and that she would be forcing you to pay damages immediately. She also said she'd make you look for a job ASAP, so that you'd be able to pay for child support fees.
Are you seriously making me mum talk about child support? I feel so bad for her.
You're the one that's making her talk about all that. I actually feel bad for her too. She's got to talk to me on behalf of her 35-year-old son.
It's not too late. Please take back everything you've said to me, Mum. I'll find another job right away, I promise. I can't be getting a divorce right now. I don't want her to look down on me. I don't want to keep living in the same house as me brother. I don't have any money saved up, so it's not like I can just move away.
Okay, so why don't you just act so that she doesn't look down on you? It's kind of your fault, isn't it? Anyway, I'm going to be sending you a bunch of your stuff, and my parents are going to be taking the divorce papers to you. I'm like 99% sure I'm going to have custody of the kids, but let's talk about all that with our lawyers, huh?
Please, I want to go home to that house. I promise I won't drink anymore.
I'm tired of hearing you say that.
I'll try my best to stop saying jokes from now on, and if you're really intent on getting a wedding dress, we can get you one.
Yeah, better luck next time. I don't want to take wedding photos with the likes of you anyway, so no thanks. Have fun living with your brother and family. When Randall, who was pretending to be at work, got home, his mum, who was furious, was waiting for him. The fact that he had lied and didn't try to find a job. The fact that he was spending hours in the slot machines and wasting time. It was all brought to light, and he was scolded like never before. The divorce papers were taken by Barbara's father that same day. He drove all the way to their house. Randall's parents were apologizing profusely, saying that their son was in the wrong. Randall ended up borrowing money from his brother and paid for the damages. He couldn't leave the house and is currently looking for a job. Hopefully he's able to find a job before his first child support payment starts coming in.
Mark, there's something on my mind, and it's not easy for me to say, but I'm going to say it anyway.
What is it?
I think that you should find yourself a new job. I mean, you only work like 2 times a week. In your free time, you play video games at home or go out with your friends. Don't you want a full-time job?
I don't. I already live in a nice house and I'm happy with my life. I don't think there's any need for me to change anything.
But I'm the one paying for it all. Don't you think that's a little unfair? If I were in your position, I'd feel bad that I wasn't making enough money. And also insecure about my future.
What the hell? Are you saying that I'm a loser because I don't have a full-time job like you?
I'm not. I just think that you should think about your future. You can't rely on me forever. I mean, you're still young. Don't you want to do something meaningful with your life? Don't you get sick of playing games and going out with the same group of friends all the time?
Whatever, you don't need to lecture me. I should have never married an older woman had I known that you would start lecturing me like this.
What do you mean by that?
I wish I had married someone that was younger than me. I mean, they're prettier and more loyal. I married you because I have a stable job and income, that's all. I thought that if I was getting married, it would be better to marry someone like you, someone that could take care of me for the rest of my life. But I guess that I was wrong.
You're already thinking about your post-retirement years?
Sort of. The one good thing I got out of this marriage is that you bought us a room in this high-rise condo. And the mortgage payments aren't that high, are they?
I didn't buy this place. I pay a pretty high rent for us to live here.
But I'm sure that is not a burden for you, seeing that you make good money. If we're being honest with each other today, I think that my love for you is gone. I don't have any feelings for you anymore.
What do you mean by that?
I'm sick and tired of you telling me what to do all the time. You might be 5 years older than me, but that doesn't make me your child. I'm your husband. You should treat me with more respect.
I'm not being bossy because I'm older than you. I'm just asking you to do the right thing for the both of us. It doesn't make sense that I'm doing all the work here.
You can think whatever you want, but don't share your thoughts with me. It's really irritating.
I had no idea this bothered you so much. Fine, I won't say what's on my mind anymore. But please do some self-reflection on your own then. Mark?
What do you want now? Stop nagging me. I've had enough of your complaining.
I know that you brought over a woman to our apartment while I was at work.
How the hell did you find out? I don't care that you found out, though. I'm going to see whoever I like whenever I want to.
Well, I won't allow you to bring them over to my apartment. And I can't believe you let her use our bed. What were you thinking?
Fine, then do you want to get a divorce?
What?
And I'm taking this house. You can go find yourself a new place to live.
Do you hear yourself? Do you know how selfish you're being right now? We're renting this place under my name. Why should I be the one to move out? And we're still married. I have every right to complain about you bringing women over to our place. Don't you understand that you're committing adultery?
I don't care what you think of me. I'm no longer in love with you, and this is my life. I'm going to do as I please. I'm sick and tired of listening to you complain all the time. I've had enough. I want you to move out.
So this means that you want to file for a divorce.
Yes, that's right. I don't see any benefits in staying married to you anymore. It stresses me out to be with you. It's not good for my health. I want you to move out as soon as possible.
Are you sure this is a good idea? Isn't it better for you to move out?
I don't think so. I like living here.
I don't think that you'll be able to afford the rent. Do you even know how much you make right now?
I may not make as much as you, but I'll be able to pay the rent. It's not a problem.
I don't think you understand how much the rent is.
Do you think that I'm stupid? I think that we have the divorce papers at home.
Yes, we do.
I'll file them soon then.
What the hell? We haven't even finished talking about this. How can you be so selfish? You only make $800 a month. How are you gonna get by?
The rent is not that high, so I can manage. I don't spend that much anyway. I'm going to get back on my feet after we get divorced. I'm going to remarry a cute and young girl who takes better care of me.
Life is not that easy, you know. You're not going to miraculously find a great job when you want to. I didn't think you were such a lowlife.
What did you just call me?
I said that you're a good-for-nothing lowlife. I think we've done enough talking. You can file those divorce papers.
I'll file them as soon as possible. I'm so glad to have you out of my life.
Likewise. But I know that you won't be able to keep up with the rent. I can't wait to say I told you so to your face. You're sure of your decision to continue living here, right? You won't regret it later?
Yes, I'm sure. How many times do you have to ask me that? I love living here. You should change the name of the lease from yours to mine.
Will do. I wish you'd had appreciated me more, though. I did so much for you. I'm the one that's been supporting you financially ever since you quit your full-time job.
Well, as my wife, that was your obligation. It's nothing to brag about. All you did was pay the rent, and it's not even that much. It's like $100 a month, right? I'll pay the rent from now on, so move out as soon as you can. I don't want to see your face anymore.
Okay then, I'm moving out.
Great!
I just can't believe you're so stupid, though. Your punishment is coming your way soon. I've warned you. And I'm going to live my life happily without you.
Why do you keep on acting like I'm not going to be able to pay the rent? I'm not going to get punished for anything.
Well, if that's how you like to see things, fine by me. If I need anything more from you, I'll contact you through my lawyer.
Sounds great. I'm so happy that I don't have to live with you anymore.
Same here. Bye, asshole.
Yo, pick up your phone!
I'm at work, and we agreed to not speak to one another, remember? Text me instead. I did everything that you asked me to. What else do you want from me?
First of all, why did you take all the electrical appliances from my house? I called you last week about it, but you wouldn't pick up your phone.
I bought all those appliances, so I have every right to take them. It took me a while to move into my new place, but now that I have, I needed my appliances back.
Fine, I guess I can't complain about it, but you could have given me some warning. Now I have to go buy some appliances for myself.
I suppose, but why are you telling me all this? I'm sure that your new girlfriend can help you with the shopping.
Actually, there's a bigger problem. The rent is much higher than I expected it to be. There must be some sort of mistake.
Oh, so you finally got your bill. You should have read the contract when we changed the name in the agreement to yours.
I guess.
But this has nothing to do with me, so you need to figure it out on your own. I've been paying the rent up until now, and you never cared how much the rent was. It's not $100, you idiot. More like 10 grand. This is all your fault. You need to take responsibility for your actions.
So there's no mistake in the bill. The rent is 10 grand.
Yes, the rent is 10 grand.
You deceived me! The monthly rent is worth my annual salary amount. There's no way that I'll be able to pay this much.
I'm sure that it is a stretch for you. Good luck.
Is that all you have to say to me? Good luck? Are you having fun seeing me struggle like this? You knew that the rent was too high for me. Why didn't you say anything? I thought that the rent was like $100.
How could you assume that the rent was so cheap? You live in a nice place. It can't be that cheap. Don't you have any common sense?
Well, I saw that you paid a lot of money when we first rented this place out. And I also contributed all the savings that I had at the time. That's why I thought that the monthly rent wouldn't be so high, because we had already paid the majority at the beginning.
Well, that's not the case. It was money that needed to be paid to secure the room because it's so popular. And we also used the money to buy furniture. But what kind of an idiot are you to think that we could live here for so cheap? Your stupidity makes me laugh. You're a real joke.
Stop being so condescending! And this isn't funny at all. I can't afford to pay my rent.
Then why don't you ask your girlfriend to help out with the rent? I mean, she's living with you. That's the least she could do.
I can't ask my girlfriend to pay the rent. She looks up to me. She's 10 years younger than me.
It was stupid of her to choose to date you. I guess all you can do now is look for a decent job that pays well.
Sir, you're not even going to offer to help me out. I'm not going to be able to find a new job in such a short span of time.
Well, if you can't come up with the rent, you're going to have to move out. The superintendent is going to ask you to pay the rent for the month that you've been living there.
But if I can't pay, I'm sure that'll come to you next. I mean, the lease used to be under your name, so...
But we're divorced now. I don't have an obligation to help you out. Your parents are the guarantor, so I'm sure that the superintendent will get in touch with them if you don't pay the rent.
I didn't know that. How did I not know this?
So, you can't get away with not paying your rent. Your parents are going to be so pissed off with you when they find out about this. If your parents get mad at you over this, you won't have a place to live. Why are you even calling me about this? I thought that you never wanted to speak to me again.
I had no idea that this place was so expensive. You should have warned me about this. This is all your fault. You should take responsibility by paying the rent.
Why would I ever do that? I'm no longer a part of your life. Deal with it on your own, you scum.
Did you just call me scum?
I did, because you are scum. You only married me for my money. And then you quit your job and spent your time doing whatever you wanted. You made me do all the household chores and wasted my money on games and gambling. And on top of that, you found yourself a lover and had an affair. After that, you made me move out and tried to take my house from me. I don't deserve any of the crap you put me through. Now, you need to deal with this mess on your own. I'm no longer a part of your life.
Look, you have a point, and I'm sorry for the way that I treated you. I didn't mean for things to end like this between us. Can't you help me out for old time's sake? I mean, we used to be married.
The past is the past. It means nothing to me. We're strangers now.
Please don't say that. I'm sorry for cheating on you. I see how bad that was now. You still have feelings for me, right? Please don't leave me to suffer like this.
Feelings? Are you crazy? I don't feel anything for you anymore after the hell you put me through. You're the one that kicked me out. I suffered plenty. Now, it's your turn. I'm living in a fabulous new place now, and I have no intention of moving back in with you. My rent is pretty expensive, so I don't have the luxury to help you out with your rent.
Can I move in with you then?
No way.
Can we give it another try, please? I realized how much I love you after you moved out. I'm really sorry. I won't do anything else to hurt you.
I'd rather die than get back with you.
I'm serious! I know that we can make it work.
I hate you for what you did to me, and you're a loser who just wants to live with me for my money. I don't need you in my life. Now, can you please stop texting me? Good luck with your rent. If you can't pay the rent, I guess you'll need to borrow the money from somewhere. Although it's none of my concern now. Stop bothering me. I'm busy. In the end, Mark was not able to pay his rent. He suggested to his girlfriend that they escape during the night, but they were caught by the police the following morning. He had to beg his parents to help him pay the rent. He was then kicked out of his apartment and had no choice but to live on the streets until his parents forced him to live with them. As a result, his young girlfriend left him. He still owes his parents the rent they lent him, so he's desperately looking for a new job. He no longer has the freedom to do whatever he wants to do. He spends his time regretting the poor decisions that he had made that led him to this current situation. As for Melanie, after divorcing Mark, she lives a happy and fulfilling life. She even found herself a beautiful new boyfriend and continues to work hard at her company. She loves her new life without Mark. She made the right choice in divorcing Mark.